Hello from the NTRP Chiller in Springfield, Ohio. We're getting ready for a round 2 game of the Frozen Creek tournament, the 24th annual between the Beavercreek Beavers and the Mason Comets. My name is Kent Jacobs, and we are here for Senior Spotlight, and we are talking to Allison Mundy. And Allison is one of the team managers, is that right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And we just wanted to ask Allison a few questions before the game this afternoon. First of all, I guess would be, how did you get involved with the Beavercreek hockey team?
Yeah, so I have many friends on the team, and I'm always around supporting them, so I thought I might as well volunteer and help out, help take their stats, and provide equipment that they need when I'm around.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your background is actually in soccer, is that right?
I played soccer since I was about 4 or 5 years old, so played all the way till my senior year through high school.
Oh, wow, okay. Who's your favorite soccer player?
My favorite soccer player would be Carly Lloyd. She's very positive on and off the field. She stands for like a good message overall, so I love her.
Well, that's good.
Yep.
Now, in America here, do we call it a pitch or do we call it a field? I know in England they call it a pitch.
We call it a field here.
A field.
Okay.
Okay, and just some other questions that we had for you. What is your favorite memory that you have coming into this season with the Beavercreek hockey team?
Honestly, just being around the guys and Michaela, of course. They're just like a family of boys, honestly. Like, they definitely teach you how to make a joke and how to laugh, so definitely love being around them. All of it's a good memory to have and keep.
That's good.
Not just one. I can't pick one.
Now, do you have a favorite hockey player? Not necessarily on the Beavercreek High School, but any hockey player, NHL or anything like that?
Not in general, really, no, I do not. My favorite previous hockey player on this team, though, would be Max Pazat. I know he started his freshman year, but he worked very hard. I loved what he stood for on and off the rink as well, just like Carly Lloyd. He was always a positive guy. Loved watching him through my high school season when he played. So.
Good, okay. And what plans do you have after you graduate this year?
I plan to go to The Ohio State University to study veterinary, or become a veterinarian.
Oh.
Become a veterinarian, yes.
Well, that's great. Okay. And now I grew up on a farm, so we had cattle and hogs. Are you going to be big animals or just regular pets?
I hope so. It depends how I feel when I start studying and how hard that becomes, but that's the goal.
Okay. And what do you think you're going to miss most after you graduate about being with the guys here?
Just being with them in general. Like, the memories you make with them, you keep them forever. They definitely teach you how to make a joke, or take a joke. I'll just miss all of it. And
since this is Thanksgiving weekend, I guess we can say, what are you most thankful for right now?
My family. Just the support from my family going through high school. They're very hard workers, and I love them all. So.
One last question. Anything you'd like to tell the viewers of our game this morning in parting?
Thank you guys for supporting. It means a lot to the boys. They talk about it all the time, and to me, it means a lot. So thanks for supporting and coming out and watching the games.
Okay, thank you. That's Allison Mundy, team manager for the Beavercreek Beavers. We thank Allison for joining us this morning. Thanks. From the National Trails Chiller in Springfield, Ohio, welcome to Game 2 for the Beavercreek Beavers of the 24th Annual Frozen Creek Tournament. My name is Kent Jacobs, and we are getting ready for the drop of the puck between Mason and Beavercreek. The Mason Comets in their Kelly green sweaters and black trunks. The Beavercreek Beavers in white sweaters and black trunks. The Beavers then are considered the home team for this game. And right off the drop of the puck, we have an icing violation. The Beavers coming in 2-0 on the season. They won last night in their first game of the Frozen Creek Tournament, 9-0 over Troy, while Mason lost their opening game last night, 1-0 to the Dayton Stealth. In goal for the Beavercreek Beavers is Ian Champagne, and we do not have the uniform number of the Mason goaltender, so we'll have to try to get that later. He's not on the roster that we got. So right away, there's a score for the Beavers. Inside 37 seconds of the game, and that score by Riley Hansen. And for Riley, that's his second goal of the season. And the Beavers a quick 1-0 lead just 37 seconds into the game. From the draw, puck centered in front of the Beavercreek net. Unable to get a chop at it was Blake Mahoney. Comets hold it in. Garrett lost it, and a quick shot and a save by Champagne, and Ian will hold on at the top of the crease. 1 minute even into the game, and this is a game that the Beavers knew was going to be a tough one. The Comets again playing the Dayton Stealth to a tight 1-0 game last night. And before the game, Beavers coach Greg Gutterman saying that the Beavers needed to play their game more, a little bit more coordinated, and that despite the Beavers winning their opening game of the season 6-1, so they've outscored their opponents so far now 16-1, counting this first tally tonight in their first 3 games so far. The head coach for the Mason Comets is Seth Knutson. Mason, of course, a northern suburb of Cincinnati. Back to get it for the Beavers, Braden Cox. Left wing pass off the stick of Bordas. Picked up by Webb, and it's chipped up over the bench to create a face-off. With 12:59 to play in the first period, we play 3 15-minute periods. Face off at center ice, Riley Hansen for the Beavers against Owen Natorp of Mason. Beavers' Joe Bordas will dump it in. Comets empty the zone back out. Drop pass picked up by the Beavers' Donahue. He'll slide it in, wrap it around the boards in the Mason zone. Loose puck held in at the left point by Webb. Webb behind the net for Hansen. Riley Hansen, backhand pass in front to Donahue. It comes out to Bordas, a shot, and he scores! Joe Bordas from the center point. And for Joe, his third goal of the season. And the Beavers take a 2-0 lead. So Beavercreek off to a quick start in this afternoon game. This is the first of 2 games that the Beavers will play today. This game on Saturday, November 28th. Here's Michaela Smith chipping it to center ice for Bush. Bush hip checked. Smith picks it back up. Puck picked up by Thomas Bush, coasting over to right wing into the Mason zone. Thomas Bush. And as he enters the zone, we've got a whistle. And we've got a penalty on the play, it looks like. Is that correct? Oh, an elbowing minor. It looks like it was on Blake Mahoney of Mason. So Mahoney in for 2 minutes for elbowing. So Beavercreek already leading 2-0, has the first power play chance of the afternoon. From the draw, Elsner. Pass back, carries the length of the ice. Champagne sets it up for Carson Cox. Drop pass for Thomas Bush off his skate. Cox now back to brother Braden Cox on left wing to center. Around a check, now into the Mason zone, and the play is offside at the Mason blue line with 1:34 remaining in period number 1. Or check that, 1:34 remaining in the power play opportunity, 11:22 left in the period. Face off just outside the Comet zone. Riley Hansen wins the draw. To Carson Cox. Carson Cox over the line. Leaves it along the boards. Bordis unable to hold it in. And the puck is chased down by Carson Cox. Carson, poke checked away. Comets trying to make a play short-handed. Pass intercepted by Carson Cox. And off a stick, Bordis will pick it up. Now back for Braden Cox. Pass ahead to Hansen off his stick. He'll try to chase it down. Riley Hansen lost his footing, goes down. 45 seconds left in the Beavercreek power play. As they try to set things up to get something going on this power play. They haven't been able to manufacture a scoring opportunity yet. There's a long shot from the blue line by Braden Cox off a body in front. Donahue back for Cox. It's over his stick to center. Carson Cox up to Riley Hansen. Hansen poke checked. Now tied up along the boards. There's 5 seconds left in the power play opportunity. Here's a pass center point. Braden Cox, screen shot. And it's off the defense in front. Power play killed off by Mason. Bordis trying to get a whack at the puck at top of the slot. Puck loose along the left wing boards. Now right wing pass. Tipped along the boards behind the net for Bordis. Joe Bordis ties up with one of the Mason players. 9:15 left in the period. Beavercreek leading 2-0. Here's Braden Cox's shot. And it's off a skate in front. Beavers maintaining possession in the Mason zone. Braden Cox looking for it at the left point. Right along the blue line, bangs it off the dasher. It's intercepted. Back come the Comets. Working around a check was Natorp, but lost the handle. Gets it back. Natorp checked by Carson Cox. Shot right on. Saved by Champagne, and he'll hold on. Ian Champagne, a shutout last night against Troy, as regular netminder Ben Duford under the weather. Now, thanks to webcast engineer Jeff Duford, we have found out the name of the goaltender. There's no goal. It's waved off by the referee as Champagne had the puck pinned up against the goalpost. We have now ascertained the name of the Mason goaltender, and it is Gavin Tremonti. So we thank Jeff and his whoever he got assist from down at the scorer's table. So Gavin Tremonti in net for. There's a shot, stick save, turned aside by Champagne, and the rebound is chipped up over the glass for a face-off. Mr. Tremonti have a previous number? No. So the face-off will be at center ice on the Beaver side of center, on the spot right outside the blue line, and here's a shot by Nate Torp and a save by Champagne, actually shot by Clabbers of Mason. And with 8 minutes left in the period, the Beavers trying to bring the puck, but that's Joey Donahue sweeping the puck in the Mason zone. After it, Lehman, J.J. Lehman, pass back for Donahue, escapes the blue line. Beavers have to circle back. Remain onside. Now the Beavers attack again in the Mason zone. At the center point, Cox, pass was behind him. He has to go back to center to get it. He'll dump it back in. Beavers change. Bush back on the ice now. Bush scored 5 times last night against Troy. There's a shot by Garrett of Mason, and that's sticked aside by Champagne. Loose puck carries to center. Bush trying to pick it up. Bush is checked. Loose puck behind the Mason goal. 6:45 to play first period. Beavercreek leading 2-0. Michaela Smith, drop pass intercepted. And a centering pass, actually it'll turn out to be a shot on goal. It's turned aside by Champagne. Another shot right down at the skate of Ian Champagne, and he is able to keep it out of the net. Dangerous chance for the Comets. Champagne had to have his leg pad and skate kicked out up against the goalpost, and he's able to keep the puck from going over the goal line. For Mason, Beach. Poke checked away by Donahue. Donahue in turn checked. Picked up by Nikki Doss. Now a centering pass is broken up. Now it's centered once again. Dangerous chance again that Champagne had to be wary of. It had to keep the puck from getting over the goal line again. Hansen bangs it to center ice. Back come the Comets once again. The Comets trying to put some pressure on late in this first period. Nate Torp goes down. Beavers' Joey Donahue carries to center on right wing. Donahue stops at the right point. Pass over for Webb. His shot turned aside by Tremonti. Webb left point shot again, and Tremonti is able to glove it, and he'll hold on for the face-off with 5:20 to play. It's been Riley Hansen and Joe Bordas in this first period for Beavercreek. Face off to the right of Gavin Tremonti in net for Mason. Back Will McDonald for the Comets. Trying to carry out. He has it poked away. It's picked up by one of his teammates, Zach Berger. Berger checked. Loose puck, Nate Torp fighting for it. It kicks past Mason's Jake Kramer down the ice. Now the Beavers Braden Cox, rink-wide pass for Huff, is deflected back into the Beavercreek zone. Now on right wing, picking it up was Elsner. Elsner checked, there's a shot. Saved by Tremonti. Rebound, held in by Braden Cox. Picked up for the Comets by Will McDonald. Will McDonald trying to stick handle out. He dumps to center. Pass intercepted by Beavercreek's Thomas Bush. Return pass for Bush is off a stick. Comets come back under 4 minutes to play in the period. For Mason, Nick Brown. Nick Brown in the corner. Now up to the right point. And the puck is off a stick to center. Now back comes Elsner, but as Alex crosses over into the Mason zone, it's whistled down offside as one of his teammates was in ahead of the puck at the Mason blue line. 3:33 to play in period number 1. First game of the afternoon, the Beavers trying to advance in the Frozen Creek tournament after winning last night. Here's a Doss, a shot save. Oh, and just missing the rebound for Mason was Garrett. Now back the other way. Bordas tried to break out. Couldn't get a shot away. Boy, what a chance for the Comets a moment ago. As Garrett. There's a big check by Mahoney of Mason. The shot is saved by Champagne. The rebound came right out. Here's a shot the other way by Hansen. Is wide. And in perfect position till one time the rebound to the net was Garrett, but fanned on the shot. We approach 2.5 to play in the period. Holding it in, Braden Cox, right point shot, blocked on defense. Braden will go back to get it. Beaver team captain, Braden Cox. Pass off the boards to Hansen at center. Hansen will drop it off. Now to Bordas. Bordas carries in his shot. And he scores! Joe Bordas, his second goal of the game. A nice wrist shot. That play looked kind of innocent. It looks like Tremonti would have a good angle on that shot straight on by Bordas, but it was low and to the glove side of Gavin Tremonti, and it slides right into the net. So with 2:11 to play in the period, the Beavers now with a 3-0 lead. Puck dropped, but there's a whistle. A misplay on the face-off. So for Joe Bordas now, his 4th goal of the season in game number 3. And Joe, goaltender last season, but he did skate at times last year and has become a forward full-time this year and is showing a nose for the net so far this year. There is Owen Huff for Bush. He'll dump it in, offside. 1:47 to play, period number 1. It'll be Thomas Bush for Beavercreek, taking the face off. He wins it back to Carson Cox. Pass for Elsner. He'll sweep it in. Here come the Comets. They've had a few good scoring chances, but Champagne has had to be on the ball in front of the net. There's been a couple of pucks that came right up to the goalpost that Ian had to make sure he had his skates pinned up against the goalpost to keep the pucks out. Here's Thomas Bush weaving through the defense. And his shot. And Thomas Bush has scored. So Thomas Bush, who scored 5 times last night, is able to sweep one in. So now a commanding 4-0 lead with 1 minute and 9 seconds left in this period. I think as tightly as the Comets played the Dayton Stealth last night, we were looking for possibly a tightly played contest this morning, but if this first period is an indication of what the rest of the game will look like, the Beavers are holding all the cards at this point. There's a shot by Braden Cox that was high and wide. Back come the Comets. Braden is able to break up a centering pass. Beavers can't get it out of the zone, and now there's a whistle. Now the puck was hit with a high stick, so that'll cause a stoppage. 25 seconds to play in the period. We've got Smith and Cox and Bordas and Lehman and Hanson on the ice for Beavercreek. Shot, save, Champagne! And the rebound is picked up by Bordas, and he'll slip it to center. So Champagne, a good save. As the puck is iced the other way, we'll have another face-off back in the Beavercreek zone. Unfortunately, the shots on goal are not posted on the scoreboard here, so whereas last night against the Troy Trojans, Champagne did not face many shots, he's had some action in this first period, but has played well. Now Bush tossed out of the face-off circle, or he will relinquish that spot for Elsner. Shot, and it's off of teammate Braden Cox and cleared down the ice for another icing. So a shot blocked by Braden Cox and cleared down the ice. 2.3 seconds left in the period. They'll drop the puck, and that'll take care of this frame, a very productive one for the Beavers. Bush V. Now Nicky Doss leaves the face-off circle in favor of Will McDonald. Puck dropped, and that'll end the period. So the Beavercreek Beavers, led by Joe Bordas, 2 goals, also Riley Hanson and Thomas Bush scoring, lead the Mason Comets after one period 4-0. Take this opportunity between periods to mention a couple of our sponsors for Beavercreek High School hockey this season. Some of our individual private donors, Eric and Diane Sondergelt. Also, Team Sandness, Joel Luker, and the Shuttleworth family. So they were our non-business private sponsors this season for the 2021 season, which we hope will get a full schedule in, hopefully, COVID willing. Because the Beaver is off to a great start so far. They won their first 2 exhibition games up in Toledo going away. And then so far this regular season, a 6-1 win over the Sycamore Aviators and a 9-0 win over Troy, and so far a 4-0 lead after 1 against Mason. So the Beavers 2021 season off to a sparkling start. And Beavercreek in the white sweaters, black trunks, and the Aviators in the Kelly green and the black trunks. From the draw, puck stolen. There's a shot, save, and a nice play by Gavin Tremonti as Owen Huff was waiting at the left wing side of the net for that rebound, a shot by Bordas. And Tremonti had to cradle that puck against his chest and make sure he didn't drop it because Huff was right there waiting. Cleared from the face-off back to the Beavercreek zone. Carson Cox up for Alex Elsner. Pass up ahead, taken now by Huff, and he's unable to pull the trigger, couldn't quite catch up to the puck, and he was partially tripped by Tremonti. Now the Beavers trying to move in. Elsner in the corner bush, centers. Ooh, it's over the stick of Owen Huff and down the ice. Owen was positioned right in the slot, but the puck skipped up over a stick blade. And the Beavers ice the puck, and we'll have a face-off back at the other end of the rink. Riley Hansen got the scoring underway in period number 1, and 2 goals by Joe Bordas and also Thomas Bush, a wrist shot that found its way in the net. 1 minute into the second period. There's Hansen, drops it off, backhander save, rebound, they score! Joe Bordas with a hat trick. Keep your sticks down in front of the net, and that's what Joe Bordas did, waiting for the rebound, and it was just able to chip a backhand off the rebound into the net. And for Joe, his 5th goal of the year, and a hat trick early in this second period. Beavers control at center. Carrying the puck in for Beavercreek Donahue, Joey Donahue, center point. Shot, save, and it's off a body in front. I don't know if Tremonti got it. I think it hit off of somebody's leg in front. Now a centering pass intercepted by Will McDonald of Mason. McDonald, the length of the rink, trying to center it, trying to get a shot off, backhander. Saved by Champagne. Now the Beavers come back. Up and down action. Donahue drops it off. Intercepted by Nicky Doss of Mason. Doss. Long shot from the right point, saved by Ian Champagne, and he'll hang on. 5-0. The Beavercreek Beavers lead it. 12:54 left in the second period. It will be Albers for Mason, or is that Natorp? I think Owen Natorp taking the face-off for Mason. On the face-off, a shot, stick save, Champagne, rebound to the corner. Comets lost control. Beavers trying to carry out. Several players tangle up at center. Beavers carry in. There's a body check by Albers of Mason. Now Jason Clabbers carries back in for the Comets. Puck comes free along the boards, picked up by the Beavers, back the other way. Thomas Bush moving in, stick handling, shots, and they score! Thomas Bush, as it looked like Tremonti had the puck. One of the Mason players holds his hands up to his head in disbelief as they thought the puck was controlled by Tremonti, but it trickles in over the goal line, and for Thomas Bush, his second of the game and 8th of the season, and that's now an 8-0 Beaver lead. Pass intercepted. Hansen centers to tip, and a nice save by Tremonti as he swats the puck away with a big mitt. There is Joey Donahue over the line, poke checked away. Beavers have to retreat to center. Now they'll dump it in. Back for the Comets, Jacob Kramer. Pass in the corner, McDonald. Outlet pass for Doss. Off his stick. Now it's Kramer back to McDonald. Stolen away. Hansen a shot. Save. As Riley Hansen stole the puck in the Mason zone in a quick shot. And Tremonti is able to get his glove on that one. As the puck tips up into the Mason bench, the whistle, and we'll have a face-off with 10:52 to go in the period. And the Beavers back in action later this evening against the Dayton Stealth. Puck tipped back into the Beavercreek zone after Ethan Webb. Webb has it stripped away. Trying to get a chop at it in front for Mason was Owen Natorp. And back come the Beavers the other way. Here's Thomas Bush fighting off a check, centering. It's off a stick to the point. Cox a shot off a body in front. Here's a centering pass again, is intercepted and cleared, and that'll be icing on Blake Mahoney of Mason. Looking for a new car or service done on your car? Visit Voss Toyota, one of our sponsors of Beavercreek Hockey. Voss Toyota along Route 35, the 35 strip of car dealerships between Factory Road and the intersection of, there's a shot, save, rebound, save again by Tremonti as Alex Elsner had a good chance on a rebound. Bush poke checked away. Donahue now for Elsner in the corner. Bush, left point shot, save, and actually it's off a defender in front, not a save by Tremonti. There's Braden Cox, centers over the backhand pass, broken up by Tremonti to teammate Will McDonald. He bangs it off the dasher down the ice. Picking it up for Beavercreek is Braden Cox with 9:10 left in the period. Icing waved off. McDonald back to get it. Pass up ahead for Nicky Doss. Doss of Mason over the Beavercreek line. Doss behind the net. Trying to backhand a pass in front. He gets it back. Puck cleared, not out, held in the Beavercreek zone by Klabbers rather, of Mason. Beavers lead it 6-0, trying to get it out of their own zone. Now a long pass down the ice, and this will be icing. New players on the ice now for Beavercreek: Donahue and Bordis, Smith, Lehman, and it looks like Carson Cox, if I can read his number right on his back, down there, down yonder, down the ice. 8 minutes to play in the period. Puck loose along the boards. Bordis will clear it for Beavercreek. Comets, who have controlled the action over the last couple of minutes of play, as Mahoney will dump it in, and that's icing on Blake Mahoney and the Mason Comets. Face off back now into the Comet zone. A 7:43 to go in the period. A big not Will McDonald. It'll be Owen Natorp taking the face off against Donahue of Beavercreek. Carson Cox picks it up, dumps it into the corner, back for Mason, Will McDonald. McDonald crossing to right wing, now circles back as he's headed off by Joe Bordis. Puck volleyed around at center ice, and it's offside against Mason. Face off at center with 7:15 to go in the period. Now fresh skaters back on for the Beavers. Is that Ben? Ben Duford now in net for the Beavers. So Ben was not feeling well yesterday, but he's back in relief of Ian Champagne, who is the goaltender of record at this point. Champagne pitched a shutout last night, and he has one again today so far. Well, Ben Duford will try to take this second half of the game and take it home for the Beavers. There's a shot! They score! A screenshot. So Braden Cox with the goal. And for Braden, that's his third goal of the season and a 7-0 lead for the Beavers. Now Thomas Bush up to the right point or left point for Donahue. Shot, save, rebound, loose. Oh, and almost able to sweep it in was Elsner, but his stick was tied up as he had the one side of the net open. Beavers control. Cox again, a shot, and he scores! Braden Cox again. Back-to-back goals for the Beaver captain. We'll see if Mason coach Seth Knutson is going to stick with Tremonti, and as we say that, now Gavin had a rough day as he bangs this stick up against the goalpost in frustration. He made some nice stops, but hard to battle that barrage is now Tudorov Nicholas. I don't know if that's name is backwards. I don't know. I don't know if it's Nicholas Todorov or it's listed on this roster as Todorov Nicholas, so I don't know, but we'll try to see if we can clarify that. Here's a drop pass. Top of the slot broken up by the Comets, and stripped by Braden Cox, wrapped around the boards to Joe Bordas along the left wing side. Puck taken away by Clabbers of Mason. Clabbers for Beach. And holding on to the puck is Duford, and with 5.5 to play in the period, that'll cause a stoppage of play. From the face-off, Beavers coming back. Coming in, Riley Hansen stick handling, and a shot is just wide from the glove side of Todorov. And at the 5-minute mark left in the period, the Comets trying to make a play. There's a shot from Nick Brown. That's blocked on defense. Brown again, now back for Mahoney. Shot, and they score! And the Comets are on the board. Now trying to catch the number, I think that was Mahoney. So we'll unofficially say that that was Blake Mahoney for Mason. That breaks the shutout, and that's now an 8-1 lead now for the Beavers. Now back for Beavercreek is Alex Elsner, tied up in the corner. Now Carson Cox drops it off, picked off by Natorp. Owen Natorp being checked by Owen Huff. Now he's also ridden in the boards back there. And the Beavers come back with it. 4 minutes to play in the period. Moving in for a shot, and he scores, and that is Carson Cox with a nifty backhander. And for Carson, that's his first goal of the season. And a 9-1 Beavercreek lead. Now from the face-off at center, Joey Donahue. He's checked in the boards by Beach. Now Riley Hansen, left point. Now back for Hansen along the left wing circle. Right wing circle, Braden Cox, shot high and wide, a blistering wrist shot. Moving the puck to center, Nick Brown around a check. Nick Brown trying to drop it off. 3:15 to go in the period. Blake Mahoney trying to check Riley Hansen. Puck comes free behind the net. Nick Brown chops it over for teammate Ethan Beach. Beach for Nicky Doss. Nicky Doss lost the handle. Teams change. 2:50 to go in the period. Here come the Beavers. Riley Hansen, backhander, he scores! As Riley Hansen, his second goal of the game, as he dekes out Nicholas Todorov. Todorov went to his left. Hansen crosses over to his backhand and has the whole side of the net to just sweep the puck right in. And it's a 10-1 Beavercreek lead. Now the other way, Duford makes a stop and will hold on to the puck. As we mentioned earlier, after the Comets played a very tight 1-0 game last night, they lost to the Dayton Stealth. We expected a tighter contest. But the Beavers' offense running on all cylinders this afternoon. And that coming now, Carson Cox, a shot, and he scores. So Todorov, who came in relief of Gavin Tremonti, has allowed in several goals. And it's 11-1. Beavers' Ethan Webb back to get it, but it's whistled down for icing with 1:59 to go in the second period. Thomas Bush will face off against Nicky Das of Mason. Bush wins his own draw, carries it in the corner, drops it off. Will McDonald trying to get it around Bush. After it also Alex Elsner. Now big Will McDonald comes back, weaves through the defense, back checked by Huff. Tied up along the boards, and Thomas Bush comes away with it. 1.5 to go in the period. Thomas Bush stops along the boards. Pass for Elsner in the circle, right wing circle, moves in. And as he tries to pull the trigger, it's broken up by Jacob Creamer of Mason. Elsner gets it back. Elsner along the boards for Bush. Bush pass for Braden Cox. I don't think he was looking for it, and it was behind him and down the ice. Under a minute to go in the period. Pulling the puck in, Blake Mahoney. Now Mahoney lost it. Beavers come back. Elsner ridden into the boards. Picked up by Albers of Mason, couldn't clear the zone. Bush picks it up. Thomas Bush. Right wing circle, Braden Cox. Right point now for Bush, and as it has it intercepted now by Mahoney. Mahoney carries into the Beavercreek zone. He lost it. Now Mahoney picks it up, and the Beavers, though, were offside as they tried to head into the Mason zone. 10 seconds left in the period. And there was a penalty on the play. It's Blake Mahoney of Mason. I didn't see what the penalty was for. Interference, okay. So Blake Mahoney, a 2-minute minor for interference. As the period comes to a close, the Beavers will have 1:50 of a power play opportunity. When the third period commences, they score an even half dozen goals in that second period, and after two, they lead the Mason Comets 11-1. Actually, they scored 7 goals in that period. I beg your pardon. So we'll go over that scoring. So in the first period, Riley Hansen scored, Joe Bordas scored a pair, and Thomas Bush scored. And in the second period, Joe Bordas got his third goal of the game for a hat trick. Thomas Bush his second. Braden Cox scored 2 goals. Carson Cox scored 2 goals, and Riley Hansen got his second of the game as well. So for the season so far, Riley Hansen now with 3. Joe Bordas has 5. Thomas Bush has 8. Braden Cox 4. And I don't know if I mentioned Riley Hansen now with 3. And for the Mason Comets, Blake Mahoney scored, and that's the only goal so far for the Comets. Saw some shuffling goaltending in the second period as Coach Gutterman of the Beavers decided to split this game up, as they will play again this afternoon after about 4 hours of a break. And so Ian Champagne started the game, and midway through the second period, Ben Duford came in, and so Ian Champagne, the goaltender of record in this game, and unless the Comets can score a dozen goals in this third period, that it'll be Champagne will be the winning goaltender in this game. And for the Comets, Gavin Tremonti was the starter, and Tremonti played well at times. He made some nice saves, but just the barrage, he gave up, I think, 8 of the 11 goals. And then Nick Todorov came in relief, but Todorov was not able to do much better in net at the end of the second period, and he let in a few goals. So just a offensive barrage by the Beavercreek Beavers. I tell you, after 2 periods of their third game now, the Beavers for the season are outscoring their opponents 26-2 at this point after 2 periods of their third game, and that's not counting the 2 exhibition games that the Beavers played in Sylvania, in which they won both, beating Toledo Whitmer 8-0 and Perrysburg 5-2. So the Beavers off to a great start. Of course, we spoke to Coach Gutterman before the game, and he felt like they had not played their best hockey as yet, and he wanted to see their positioning be a little bit more disciplined, and certainly we're seeing the results in this game. So for this Frozen Creek tournament, the 24th annual, normally held in Kettering, but due to COVID restrictions, we were able to get this tournament played at the chiller in Springfield, the National Trails Parks and Rec Division chiller. There are these chiller rinks around the country. I know there's another one in Columbus. And it's a nice thing they've done here in Springfield with this building and creating this ice rink. Later on today, there's more action. Lake High School from the Toledo area will be playing Troy. And then Mason plays Troy. And then tonight it's 6:40 approximately. It will be the Dayton Stealth taking on the Beavers. Then tomorrow, Lake plays Mason, Troy plays the Stealth, and Beavercreek plays the Lake High School Flyers in the final game of the tournament tomorrow afternoon. The alternate format, as we had one of the teams drop out, there's a scoring system of how many periods you win and how many goals you score, and obviously wins and losses, and also head-to-head. So tomorrow, when we are playing the games that will determine the final standings of the tournament. Some of those rules will kind of crystallize, and we'll know who needs to do what, who needs to win how many periods in order to try to win the tournament. We would like to invite you to visit the Dayton Pizza Factory, proud sponsor of Beavercreek hockey for the 2021 season once again. Bill Daniels will be happy to make a fresh pie for you. Dayton Pizza Factory also with a wide variety of salads and subs available as well. They are at 1101 Wayne Avenue in Dayton. Easy phone number to remember, 224-4477. So 2244477. Order a pizza from, or a sub or a salad from the Dayton Pizza Factory. Also, the Home Depot is one of our corporate sponsors this season. The Home Depot with locations in Beavercreek and also the Centerville area and the West Carrollton area along 741. The Rusty Taco Restaurant. They are in the shops of Beavercreek Center on Town Drive. As you can tell from the name of the restaurant, Rusty Taco, they feature a lot of different Mexican foods, and you can visit their website, rustytacos.com, or give them a call at 306-8080. And they are located right there at the shops of Beavercreek on Town Drive. Also, another one of our restaurant sponsors, Milano's Pizza and Subs. They are in the Fairfield Plaza. You can visit them at Milano's Subs, that's plural, milanossubs.com. And they are in the Fairfield Plaza right along North Fairfield Road near the Fairfield Mall. Also, Gallagher Tire is one of our sponsors this season once again. Gallagher Tire and Automotive. They have locations in Kettering and Huber Heights. In Kettering, they're at the Wood Lane Plaza at 3050 Woodman Drive. Gallagher Tire, they can take care of any of your automotive needs, from oil changes or radiators or tires, any oil changes, anything you need, you can visit Gallagher Tire and Automotive. They're at Wood Lane Plaza at Woodman and Dorothy in Kettering. So we are looking at an 11-1 game heading into period number 3 as the ice is being resurfaced at the Springfield Chiller. And we'll see if the Comets stay with Nick Todoroff in goal, as he struggled after coming in relief of Gavin Tremonti. So we'll see if Todoroff comes back in net. A tough go so far for the Comets, as we'll see if their coach, Seth Knudsen, as we mentioned, the full coaching staffs for both teams. It's Seth Knudsen, the head coach for the Comets, and his assistant coaches. Are Colin Heim, Jerry O'Grady, Warren McDonald, Joel Doss, and Ryan McVeigh. And of course, for the Beavercreek Beavers, Greg Gutterman is head coach, and his assistants are Brad Lloyd, Drew Earhart, and Cameron Quick. And the team managers, Allison Mundy, who we met before the game in the senior spotlight, and also Abby Shivelbein, who sister of Nate Shivelbein, who was a star player for the Beavers last year. And Abby is back. Nate has graduated, but Abby is back to be one of the team managers again this season. So we're glad to have her back. The Zamboni is heading back to its resting place. The ice has been resurfaced, and we're going to be seeing the teams back on the ice for this third period. Again, later on this afternoon, the Beavers play the Dayton Stealth. And the Stealth, they beat Lake. Is that right? Did they beat Lake? Lake beat Stealth 3-0. Okay, so the Lake Flyers. And the Beavers will see them tomorrow. In the final game of the tournament. Lake plays Troy and then Mason. So if if the Beavers are able to win over the Stealth this evening, we could see a championship game tomorrow between the Beavers and the Flyers. But again, that comes down also not just to wins and losses, but total points, and that's determined by how many periods you win and number of goals scored. So that formula won't be determined until tomorrow afternoon. I'm sure Coach Gutterman would like to see the Beavers leave a little in the tank for tonight. Having a comfortable lead in this third period, we'll see if some of the younger players get more lion's share of the ice time as they get ready for a big game this evening against the Stealth. And let me see if I can tell at the other end who is in. Looks like is warming up in net. Okay, and it will be Todorov. Looks like Nick Todorov is between the pipes for Mason. Maybe now that he's warmed up a little bit, maybe he'll have a little bit better third period because he had a rough end of the second. Third period underway. Beavers versus Comets. Beavers in the white sweaters, black trunks. Comets in the Kelly green sweaters, black trunks. Thomas Bush drops the puck off. Now it's Braden Cox, a shot. Save. Ran, they score! So right off the bat, inside the first half minute of the period, another goal for the Beavers. And, Joey Donahue. Okay, so for Joey, his first goal of the game. And first goal of the season. So Joey Donahue was able to put the puck in. And it's a 12-1 lead for the Beavers. From the draw at center ice, Nikki Doss wraps it around. And it's Ian Champagne is in net on this that game note for the Beavers. So maybe Ben Duford, maybe he played the second half of the second period, but maybe he was not feeling well. So maybe Coach Gutterman decided to let Ian Champagne finish the game. Now back behind his own net is Will McDonald. Puck chopped back in the Mason zone. And a puck poke checked away from Jacob Kramer. He'll bang it around to the right wing side and picked up for the Beavers by J.J. Lehman. For Riley Hansen, Hansen dumps it in. Beavers change lines as the Comets bring the puck out of their own zone. Mahoney lost the puck. Trying to pick it up was Garrett Herr, and it comes into now I have a face-off as the puck flipped up over, and now we've got actually a cross-check penalty. And we'll see who that is on. It's going to be on Blake Mahoney. So Mahoney, his second penalty of the game. This one for cross-checking. So just under 13 minutes to play. And the Beavers on a power play chance. Alex Elsner in the corner. Elsner behind his own net. Carson Cox picks it up. Cox bumped off the puck, picked up by Elsner. He's checked. Webb has it. Ethan Webb trying to move it ahead for Elsner. Elsner being bumped by Kramer. Beavers on a power play. Leading at 12-1. Here's Carson Cox. One-timer Webb is blocked in front. Now Ethan Webb holds it in at the right point. Wraps it behind the net now for Elsner. And a return pass for Webb is past his stick and down the ice. No icing because the Comets are shorthanded on the penalty. Webb to Bush, right wing. Bush across the center ice zone, and it's offside. And that'll cause a whistle with. And I was wondering if this wouldn't be the case at some point in this third period, but they're letting the clock run. And that's not a surprise with the score as it is, and probably time constraints also. So they're already down to 10 seconds left in the power play as the clock's continuing to run through the stoppages of play. Shot by Braden Cox wide of the net. Penalty killed off by the Comets. Braden Cox, touch pass in front. Nobody's there to get a stick on it. And now icing the other way as the Comets shoot the puck down the ice. 10.5 to play in the game. We got Smith and Braden Cox on the points for Beavercreek. Riley Hansen centering. Now Michaela Smith gets past her stick. Back is Braden Cox to check the Comet player. Pass for Joey Donahue. Give and go Riley Hansen over the line. Hansen checked by Kramer. Hansen gets it back. Circling now back, a pass to the right point, Braden Cox. Pass wraps around to center, and it's chipped in behind the Beavercreek goal by Nick Brown. Centering pass for Acuna, and then a centering pass for her, and unable to get a stick on it. Hip check at center ice on Doss. Picking the loose puck up was Donahue. Donahue has it poke checked away. Now Donahue again, he'll knock it in off the glass down the ice. 9 minutes to play. Puck poke checked away by Braden Cox. Elsner trying to move in. He lost it. Comets trying to get the puck back, and Braden Cox is able to keep it out of the attacking zone. Now Michaela Smith, a check. She goes down. She's all right back on the ice. She thwarted a shot attempt with a body check. Now trying to run Lehman into the boards. Lehman picks a stick up. There's a shot that comes on net off the stick of Braden Cox to Champagne. And Champagne will make the stop on the slow-moving puck and hold on for the face-off. 7:45 to go. Riley Hansen v. Nikki Doss for the face-off. Puck centered, but no one for Mason there to get a shot on it. Riley Hansen on right wing, now trying to center the puck. Comets are able to pick up the loose disc and carry to center. Ethan Webb back for Beavercreek. His pass for Riley Hansen, too far ahead of him and down the ice. 12-1, the Beavers lead it. Carson Cox, pass for Bordas. Bordas looking for Hansen. It's over his stick into the corner. Joey Donahue prodding at the puck, along with Kramer of Mason. Webb holds it in. Webb to Hansen. Hansen, he's got Bordas in front. He drops it off for Carson Cox's shot, blocked in front. 6.5 minutes to play in this Saturday morning affair at the Springfield Chiller. No icing as the puck was off the stick of Carson Cox. He goes back to get it, works around Zach Berger, shoots it in. It's blocked on defense. And the clock running through stoppages of play with the score plus time constraints being what they are. Cleared back to the Mason line, dumped back in. There's one of the Beaver players knocked down. That's Bush. Now trying to work it in is Elsner, and a whistle. And looks like we've got a cross-check penalty. That will be on young Mr. Natorp. Owen Natorp goes off for 2 minutes for cross-checking. Second cross-check of the period. Blake Mahoney had a cross-check minor earlier. So from the face-off on the power play, the Beavers, Braden Cox drops it back in the corner. Now for Hansen. Hansen behind the net, Elsner. Alex Elsner trying to work it in front, is now passed back to the right point is too far behind teammate Ethan Webb and down the ice. Now Braden Cox, give and go Riley Hansen. Hansen stops at the blue line, looks for help. Left point, Braden Cox, shot, saved by Todorov. Braden Cox trying to hold it in. Cox to Hansen, behind the net, Elsner. Elsner works through a check. Pass over. Behind the net, it looks like Bush. Now back to Cox. Back for Thomas Bush. In the corner. For now back to the left point for Braden Cox. Shot. He scores! Braden Cox with a hat trick. A power play goal. And it's 13-1 for the Beavers. Joey Donahue centering this line, and the Comets carry in, and from the draw, a shot wide of the Beavercreek net. There's a whack at it and a save by Ian Champagne from a shot by Aiden Albers from the left defense position for the Comets. From the face-off with a running clock, 3.5 minutes to go. Chipping the puck ahead is Donahue, trying to break out with it, but able to beat him to the puck was Blake Mahoney of Mason. Over for Sarah Grove. She's checked. Loose puck now to the opposite wing boards. Puck kicks free to Joe Bordas. Bordas will dump it in. 3 minutes to play as it's icing, as Bordas was behind the center red line as he cleared the puck down the ice. You can't be behind that center red line, so the puck going over the red line, the blue line, and then the red goal line that extends across the rink at the other end. You have to be in front of that red line for it not to be icing. Picking the puck up, Bordas. Bordas bumped off the puck as he and his opposite number 13, Will McDonald, collide. Bordas was looking for his 4th goal of the game on that play. 2:20 left, and the clock is running. Thomas Bush against Owen Natorp of Mason. And in the waning moments of this game, we'll send out our gratitude to the Mason Comets and all the other teams that agreed to participate in this Frozen Creek tourney, especially in these crazy COVID-19 times. That we did have one team that did not play in this tournament. So we're grateful that the Mason Comets and the Lake High School and all the other participants showed up for this tournament here at the Springfield Chiller. Beaver captain Braden Cox is able to move it ahead into a collection of players at center. Now Elsner bumped down to the ice on a body check. Play whistled offside as the Beavers tried to carry in the Mason zone. 40 seconds left and running in this one. Beavers will go to 3-0 on the season, 2-0 in this tournament. And look forward to the Dayton Stealth later this evening. 20 seconds to go. Back come the Comets. Doss is checked. Joey Donahue picks up the loose puck. Donahue. Checked by Albers. Loose puck held in by Smith. And that will do it. So the Beavercreek Beavers win it 13-1. Ian Champagne in net is congratulated by his teammates. He played 2.5 periods. Ian did not allow a goal. Benny Duford came in to play the second half of the second period, but he's been under the weather. He did let in the one goal that the Comets scored. We'll see who gets the assignment this evening. Whether Benny feels better at that point, or will we see Champagne this evening? Ian has not allowed a goal yet in this tournament. Is a shutout last night against Troy, and then in 2.5 periods today. But we'll see who Coach Gutterman goes with this evening. So running down the scoring in this one, Joe Bordas scored a hat trick with 3 goals. Braden Cox scored a hat trick. Carson Cox got 2. Riley Hansen got 2. Thomas Bush got 2. Thomas got 5 last night. And Joey Donahue scored for Joey, his first goal of the year. So that is going to wrap up this one. Again, a game that was unexpectedly this one-sided, but the Beavers winning it 13-1 as they were on all cylinders in this game this morning. So that's going to wrap things up for this one. For webcast engineer Jeff Duford, I'm Kent Jacobs. Again, the final score in this second round game of the Frozen Creek tournament: Beavercreek 13 and Mason 1. Until this evening, good afternoon from the Springfield Chiller.